All right, you guys, listen. We're finishing our notes, so this is when you stop talking because this is all on a video. This is making it kind of sound silly to whoever else has to listen to this. You guys know that it's time to start our notes, so get your notes out. We don't need to have conversations every single day at the beginning of class. Factor using the box method. We're going to continue factoring the same way that we have in the past. We're not doing, I guess we could try it, but we don't need to. If we could try this method if you want. We'll do a couple of them. You're still going to do the exact same steps. It tells you the steps. This is just a different way of doing it than the last couple of ways. So it says identify A, B, and C, and I'm going to remind you, you have AX squared plus BY plus C. That's how you know what A is, what B is, and what C is. So A in this case is 3. B in this case is 10. C is 8. So first step says identify A, B, and C. That's what we just did. Second step, multiply A times C. So 3 times 8 is 24. That goes on the top of your puzzle. This one is A times C. And then the bottom of your puzzle is B, and our B is 10. So something that multiplies to give you 24, but adds to give you 10. 6 and 4. Okay, this is where things are going to change a little bit. We have to draw a box. I don't know if you'll like this way better or the other way better. It's really kind of a personal preference thing, like typical. It says use the X factor puzzle. Fill in the box using the solutions from the X factor. So, we're going to start by writing our first term in our trinomial 3x squared in this top box. Then we're going to write our 2 answers to our puzzles. The 6x can go here, and the 4x will go here. So we got the 6 and the 4 from the puzzle. I just put an x by them. This very last box is our C, which is 8. So then it asks you to, so we filled in the box using our solutions from the X factor. We're on step 5. What is the common in each column? What is in common in each column? So when you're looking at these two right here, 3x squared and 4x, what's in common? Oh, why is that? Yeah, it's x. Then if you look at 6x and 8, you're looking at the 6x and the 8. What do they have in common? 2. Okay, then you're going to do the same thing, but for the other way. So you're going to look at 3x squared and 6x. What do those two have in common? 3x. And then what do 4x and 8 have in common? Okay, so now you have what you're going to put in your binomials. I'm actually going to put them down here because I ran out of room. But your first one is going to be, I mean, you can write them either order, but you're going to write the top ones together. So they're both positive. So 3x, this is a positive 4, so I'd say plus 4. And then your other one you still have is an x, and then that's a positive 2, so it will be plus 2. That's another way to do it is this little box method. So whichever way that you're more comfortable with is the way that you should do. We're going to try another one like this so you can catch on to it. So we're going to do the one down below. We do need to start by figuring out what A is, what B is, and what C is. A is 6. B is 13. C is also 6. Then we're going to do our little X factor method. So the top of our little X is going to be whatever A times C is. So 6 times 6. Yep. The bottom one is going to be whatever B is, which is 13. So we're looking for something that multiplies to give you 36, but adds to give you 13. Yeah, perfect. 4 times 9. Now we're going to draw our box. In the very top left, you're going to put your first term, 6x squared. In these diagonal from each other, you're going to put your two answers to the puzzle. I'm going to put 9x here, and I'm going to put 4x here. You can switch it. You'll get the same answer. It doesn't matter which one you put where. Then in your very last box, you're going to put your C, which is 6. So now you're going to look across right here. We're looking at 6x squared and 4x and find what they have in common. 6x squared and 4x, they have what in common? 2 and an x. Now I'm looking at 9x and 6. What do they have in common? A 3. Now I'm looking at rows down here. So 6x squared and 9x, what do they have in common? 3x. 4x and positive 6 have a 2 in common. So the last thing you want to do is you do the top ones together and you do the side ones together. So top one is 3x, and this is a positive 2, so you'd say plus 2. And then the side one is 2x, and that's a positive 3, so you'd say plus 3. So I don't care which way you do it, whichever way you feel more comfortable with, unless it like specifically says use the box method or use the other method, then it doesn't really matter to me. You want to see one more of the other method just to remind you. So here is the last one. You'll still do the X factor method. You'll still write down what A is, what B is, and what C is. You honestly don't have to write down A, B, and C. Once you know where they're at, you can kind of skip this part. It's just, for now, I'm just showing you what they are. Make sure you make C a -4 because that sign attaches to it. So you, on your top of your X factor, it's going to be A times C. So 10 times -4, which is -40, like you said. And then B is the bottom one, which is 3. We're looking for something that multiplies to give you -40 and adds to give you 3. 8 and -5. So this is the other way. I don't care which way you like better. You're going to start by writing down your very first term in your trinomial, which was 10x squared. Then you can write either one of your puzzle pieces. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to write 8 and put an x by it. Then I'm going to write the other one I didn't use already, which was a -5, and I got to put an x by that. And then I'm going to write my C very last. You're going to group the first two together, and you're going to group the last two together. So you've got to find the GCF for 10x squared and for 8x. Yeah, 2x will work. So what you'll do is you'll take 10x squared divided by 2x. I know 10 divided by 2 is 5. X squared divided by x. If you just take 2 minus 1, it's just 1x. If I take 8 divided by 2, I get a 4. It's a positive 4, so I put plus 4. I would have no more x's because this would be x to the first minus x to the first would leave you with x to the 0. Same thing with the second two. I just need to find a GCF. They really don't have much in common except for -1. They do have in common. If I take -5x divided by -1, you get 5x. If I take -4 divided by -1, you get positive 4. So your first binomial is going to be what's on the outside of the parentheses. You've got a 2x on the outside of this one, and you've got a -1 on the outside of this one. Your second binomial is this what is in parentheses. And like I said yesterday, they should be the exact same thing in both of them. So you only have to write your answer once. So like I said, whichever way you feel more comfortable with, the box method is kind of easy. I never did that when I was in school, but that doesn't mean that's not a good way to do it. So whichever way you find easier. On the end of your notes, there's an assignment, your book assignment, page 299. So page 299, I give you all these options for problems to do on numbers 33 through 44, but you only need to pick 10 of them. So you don't have to pick the same 10 as the neighbor or your neighbor. You just pick which 10 you want to do. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So, book assignment, I'm going to remind you, you have your piece of notebook paper. You need to write the assignment at the top of your paper. It needs to go up here somewhere. You need to write that down in case for some reason you turn it in late or you're not here, so I know what I need to grade. And then your name will go somewhere underneath.